My name is Mario Wallace. I am both a Spanish and professional and technical writing major. My experience as a first-generation student, well, it was challenging at best. Given that there's not a lot of funding available there, and as a first-generation student, my family didn't prepare me for college. They didn't have the knowledge of any type of financial assistance, so I had to seek that information out myself through friends and colleagues on my job. So throughout that entire ordeal, it was cumbersome, but I managed to get it done. I found the right resources, and that was through the advising center at UALR that allowed me to be successful in my experience, my college experience. Later in life, my son was a senior in high school in Memphis, Tennessee. He decided to go to college. That was one of his dreams, one of his passions. And at that point, I started considering it. And once I got him enrolled into college, I decided to go to college myself. I knew the benefits of college, so I felt that that was the best step that I could take at that time. Advising is one thing, and this is an example. In the Spanish department, I was told after I had taken several courses, 3,000 level courses, that any courses beneath 3,000 level courses I could have gotten credit for. And that's information I didn't know, so I took those additional courses as well. One thing that a non-traditional first-generation student needs to do is to always be advised. Never miss an advising session.
Chelsea McNeil, mass communication with an emphasis in print journalism. I hoped I would. I didn't know if I would actually do it. I actually went to a community college, and then I took a couple of years off. I played in a band, and once I decided what I wanted to major in, I went back to school to finish. So, well, I was a commuter for a while, so I wasn't ever in the traditional setting for college. So for support, it was just really friends, and I mean, my family was very supportive as well. I would just say apply for everything you can get your hands on, because you never know who's going to give you that opportunity, and not necessarily be nosy, but just stick your nose around in every place that you can find. And so.
My name is Ong Bang, and my major is biology. You know, my family is a little bit out of the norm, I think. You know, my parents weren't as highly educated as people are here, but in Laos, they were the most educated in their family. And so, you know, my dad was really involved with Air America and helping a lot of the American troops doing special ops during the Vietnam War. So I think he really had an understanding as to what America was. And so we came over just right on the heels of the end of the Vietnam War to Arkansas. And I mean, and so you can understand that the environment was very tense, especially for Asians to come over. I think my parents really did see that education was the best bridge to our new home, since we really didn't have a home anymore. We weren't able to go back to Laos at all. And so if we were going to make it here in America, that we absolutely needed to be as educated, be able to communicate, speak English well. We were pushed always towards education. We all went to college. College was not an area of debate in the family. The only expectation, because you're going to get expectations from different people put on you, and I think the only expectation that you really need to pay attention to is the one that you have for yourself. There's always going to be, unfortunately, a professor or an advisor or just someone in your career who may say something that will put the brakes on your ambition, and you really can't pay attention to that. You just have to do what you think you need to do to get to your goal.
Amy Jo Hall, Management Information Systems major. I'm a first-generation student because at the age of 18 I left home and began to work at a factory. Neither of my parents had graduated high school nor attended any college at all. I did not go to college for many years because I became a widow in 2007, and I was a stay-at-home mom at that time. I ended up figuring I need to go to college because there was no way that an employer is going to give me more than minimum wage without an education to be able to support my family. So I decided to take the first step and get my GED, which I did successfully in 2008, and then I entered into a community college at Morrilton, University of Arkansas Community College at Morrilton, and I went there on scholarship based on my GED scores. I completed my associate's degree in 3 years, and one of the obstacles that I had to come besides being a single mom with 3 children is I also had a surprise pregnancy in 2008, but luckily for me, he came right after, about 2 weeks after finals were over. I just want the other people to know out there, especially single moms, you know, college might seem completely unattainable. All things are possible.
My name is Callie Hernandez, and my major is political science. I'm the first one from my family to go to college, so it was definitely new, not just for me, but for my family as well. It gets pretty scary, and but other than that, it's something to look forward to. So, well, my family, they're originally from Mexico. My mother, she didn't finish high school. Actually, she didn't even make it into high school. My dad, he started college but couldn't finish due to financial issues. They've tried to give us the most that they've been able to, and I think they've done absolutely wonderful. But I'm proud to call them my parents. But they're the ones that actually encouraged me to, try to go to college and make something with my life, because that's the whole reason why they migrated to this country in the first place. I was the firstborn in America, so I thought, I'd be the first one to go. Received the Academic Challenge, the GO Grant, the CLC, which is Chancellor's Leadership Scholarship. I also received a scholarship from the Division of Services for the Blind because I'm legally blind. You will get scared, but just don't let your fears get in the way, If I can do it, you can do it. That's the way I've always looked at it, so.
Marshall Aiken's philosophy. My mother, grandfather, and her grandmother were sharecroppers, so she really didn't have the money to, afford college during that time. So she just didn't go. Just didn't feel like I was ready for college. I didn't feel like I was mature enough for college, and I was still young and I wanted to live a little bit. So I spent 8 years in the military, then came back afterwards. Just coming back to school was probably the biggest challenge. It's something I decided that I needed to do in order to make my life better.
My name is Dana Julian, and I'm a psychology major. My father opened up a family business. It's called Julian Brothers Bakery outside of Detroit, and he's ran that business for over 40 years now. So that took up all of his time after high school, and it still goes today. But I know that running that business has been a blessing and a very big stress for him throughout his life. And I know that not continuing his education has always been a really big issue for him. He really would have liked to have continued on. I needed to support myself, so I went to work, and the thought of going to college and getting into a severe amount of college debt was not an option at the time. So I went straight into the workforce, and there I remained for 15 years. It was more like, finally, now she gets it. They were both overjoyed that I decided to go back to school and actually get a degree, and that I've remained committed to getting my degree. And in fact, they're both completely overwhelmed that I decided to further my degree and go for my master's as soon as I'm done. I would do anything to go back to when I was 18, 19, 20 and finish college, because I would have been a lot better off than I am now. maybe 15 years too late, but at least I'm here now.